Hello everybody and welcome to the Nate Football Channel. I'm going to be reviewing the Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0 game. Chelsea are on to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Conference League, and I won't lie with y'all, I don't think there's a single Chelsea fan that's ecstatic about this performance, game, whatever. It was a very below par performance from the Blues today. To be honest, I think Copenhagen they weren't that scary, but I was scared that they could eventually come back and maybe send it to extra time and kick us out of the competition, which would have been a huge story in the sports world, that the big favorites to win the Conference League, have now been kicked out in the first round. Now, I'm going to recap the game. There wasn't much to recap, especially in that first half. It was very boring to watch, and it seems like that's all the games that we're watching from the Blues nowadays. But in the first half, it took us about half an hour to really get into the game. And we still didn't have any shots in the first half, but after about 30 minutes, we really started progressing up the field with more intensity, had a better press, was just more off-ball movement, really, and just what we needed to warm up to the game. Regardless, everybody's gonna be talking about the stats of the first half, how we did not have a single shot on target or off target. We did not have a single shot, and Copenhagen had 4. That's unacceptable, and we're home at Stamford Bridge. What do you think the fans are feeling right now? Copenhagen were really never dangerous in attacking our goal, but it doesn't matter when they're having more shots than us and are just looking better on the field when we're home. I mean, Enzo Maresca, after the game, was talking in his press conference, saying that the fans need to start supporting the team a lot better since we were booing at halftime. And I just don't think I completely agree with him there. I don't think it's all the manager's fault what's happening to this club. I think there's been a lot of bad decisions, but you can't tell the fans to be more lively and to be more supporting when you don't have a single shot in the first half of a UEFA conference in a European game. In a competition, we should be smacking everybody out of it. So, I didn't really like his press conference that much, but we move on. I'm going to recap the game now. The first half, there's not really much to recap. I don't even know what to talk about, honestly. Copenhagen had 4 shots. We had 0. We didn't create anything in that first half. But in the second half, Enzo Maresca makes the changes we need, which are Cole Palmer on, Cucurella on, and I really do think it changed the game. Obviously, Cucurella more so than Cole Palmer, but we needed more life in that midfield, and Cucurella provides that. And obviously, Cole Palmer, I guess everybody was expecting a hat trick from him, but he's just still on this low patch of form that he's been on. I do think he's had a better performance in this game from the ones in the past that we've seen. It seems like Cole Palmer can never get like a foot right, but this game he was making good movements, making good passes, playing within the team, linking up play, but he just couldn't finish. That's all. So I'm fine with that performance, especially since we move on. But I'm gonna now get to the goal, which I think is severely overhyped. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, he does do well somewhere in the second half, like in between the 50th and 70th minute he scores. I can't remember this game at all, really. But he wriggles in and out of like 3 or 4 defenders, and then actually kind of loses the ball a little bit, but tackles that defender, gets the ball back, and has a lovely finish into the bottom right-hand corner on his favored left foot. But it's a great finish, but I do think there's a lot of luck involved with that, and Copenhagen just having a defensive lapse of concentration. They totally lost concentration for those 30 seconds. So everybody's talking about this goal and that he gave us the game, he's man of the match, and maybe we should give him more time and all of that, but I just don't see it. I don't even think he had that good of a performance. It's like everybody only remembers the goal. His first half was horrible. He couldn't put a foot right. I don't like his movement. I don't like how he plays within the team. I don't like how Enzo Maresca only plays him on the right wing, and I don't understand it. I do want him out of my club, but thank you, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, for getting us to the quarterfinals. But other than that, I don't think he was our man of the match. I would give it to Moises Caicedo. He put in some super tackles, Conte-esque tackles, stopping counters, really looping around the defender to get the ball. But yeah, he was also just very composed under pressure as well. Copenhagen obviously didn't have the biggest press. They were performing a low block for most of the game, but he was very well under pressure. When they did pressure him, he would just stay composed, find the pass he needs, or dribble out of it. And I just don't remember him ever putting a foot wrong. I'd give him a 9 out of 10 performance, even though he's probably only going to get an 8. And I know we can give Moises Caicedo the man of the match every game, but this one, I really do think he deserves it. I don't think Kieran Dewsbury Hall deserved it at all. Other performances, I liked Cucurella's performance. He always brings energy to the midfield and in the back line. He didn't really put a foot wrong either. And Enzo Maresco, obviously, he made the right idea to bring on the subs at halftime, make sure this doesn't get out of hand, and bring on what we need, energy in the midfield and creativity up top. And ultimately, it kind of works in the end, but Cole Palmer, he just couldn't finish today. So moving on, something new that we've seen in this today's game is that Achampong was actually playing as our inverted fullback to start the game, and he's young. He's 18 years old, I'm pretty sure, maybe 19, but he's a young player. He still needs to figure out, he still needs to develop a lot. He still needs to figure out what his play style is, but I really don't think he should be inverting as a fullback. I didn't understand that. There were multiple areas where it just looked like he looked a little bit lost, trying to dribble out of pressure when he can just simply pass back. And it seemed like he was trying to do a little bit too much, and maybe that just comes from the frustration of our team just not creating anything in that first half, sure. But I didn't like him in that position. He didn't look suitable for that position. But we'll just have to see what's in the future for him. Hopefully he keeps getting play time, though. But today, guys, I won't lie. Today I wasn't really going to be reviewing this game as much as I am going to be talking about Enzo Maresca and his system. I think at the start of the season, we were on this great run because teams didn't take us seriously. You look back 2-3 years, these players that we've bought under these managers have just not been able to provide anything fruitful for us. No trophies, no gradual progress, nothing really working out for us. And just so many inconsistencies is the main thing. We'll have one good performance, a couple amazing performances from our players, and the next game, it's completely out the door. But this season, it seemed like nobody took us seriously, so they're just going to throw everything at us, attack us, but all we have to do is just counterattack, and we got the quality of players that can start these counterattacks and finish them off, especially when Cole Palmer was in form. That being said, it seems that now teams have really figured out Enzo Maresca's system, and I'll get a little bit on defending him in a little bit, but it seems that our system is just too stagnant to really do anything. I'm fine with sending a lot of players forward, especially like Cucurella inside the box, having our fullbacks arrive in the box. But if we're sending that many players, we need to do something with the ball. We can't just keep passing horizontally. We need to be passing vertically and making just creative link-up plays. I don't know. But it just seems, I just see the same passing patterns every single game. And the thing is, I don't think we're going to see the same system that we've seen the past 4 games or so against the game on Arsenal, at Arsenal on Sunday. Enzo Maresca obviously can't be playing the same system of possessing the team into frustration. Arsenal are going to be much better than us, talent-wise, physically-wise, mentality-wise. They're just going to be better than us in all aspects, so we're going to have to switch something up. But this system where we know we can possess the ball and keep it more than the other team, it's just not working for us. It seems like in the beginning of the season, there was such a priority on our wingers and to really get them as many chances and opportunities as possible to make something happen. And I know that was a big priority and emphasis for Enzo Maresca's system. He loves his wingers, but it just seems that teams have just figured us out now, and we're just too obvious and predictable. We do the same, as I said, we're doing the same passing patterns every single game, and the team just knows what to expect. It's too easy. Now, I do want to talk about how I see a lot of other fans and Chelsea fans kind of saying the same stuff as me, that maybe Enzo Maresca just isn't the right manager for us. But I've seen that people aren't as hyped up on Enzo Maresca as we once were, like at the beginning of the season, that maybe a few of us are calling for him to be out and sacked out of this club. But regardless, I don't want to get into this Chelsea mentality of just always wanting the manager out as long as he's not winning the Premier League or winning the Champions League. But sometimes I think we do need to call out for these managers, and I just don't see the progress within this team. Yes, we are qualifying for Champions League football if the league ended today. Yes, we're still in we could still win a trophy within the UEFA Conference League, but there needs to be more. And I do understand that managers always will do better in their second or third or fourth years if they're still there, because it takes more than just a night or two to get players infiltrated within the system and work how the manager wants it, and also just getting the players that the manager wants. Like Arteta with Arsenal, if he was, imagine if Arsenal sacked him in the first season when he got like 11th place or something like that, they never would have been in this great period of run where they've been on the last 3 seasons, always up there competing for the Premier League title, which they aren't this season, but they were. I'm not calling for Enzo Maresca's head. I don't think we need to sack him, but I do think we need to be wary that maybe Enzo Maresca just isn't the guy we want for the next 5 years. I honestly don't think he'll be here for those 5 years. That's a ridiculously long contract. I don't know what the ownership was thinking. But we'll just have to see what comes. We're going to have to see more. And just because maybe he needs a couple more players, needs a better goalkeeper, needs a better striker, I don't think that's just going to completely solve our problems. I really don't. And I just do think that Enzo Maresca may not be the guy for the job. But in conclusion, we are into the quarterfinals of the UEFA Conference League. It doesn't feel like it, but at least we're there. It is such a weird feeling that we're moving on in this European competition. We got first in the table before the knockout stages came around, and we're now off to the quarterfinals. But it just doesn't feel like we're there. These aren't good performances, and if we're not careful, we could easily be knocked out. And I don't think we'll be knocked out in the quarterfinals. Maybe not in the semifinals. But Real Betis looks like a team that can actually beat us, and a team that, if we're not careful, we will lose in the final. I don't know if I pointed this out already, but I was going to talk about Enzo Maresca's press conference when he was talking about the fans not supporting the team enough and not doing as good a job and making more noise at the stadium. Now, this is certainly a very controversial topic, because how in the world are we going to pay this much money to get inside to watch the game at Stamford Bridge and get excited for our team when we don't even create one single shot in the first half? I like both sides of the story. I do understand that Enzo Maresca wants more from our stadium. We've gotten really quiet. We've gotten almost as a joke, as an atmosphere in Stamford Bridge. But he also needs to realize that we're human, we're fans, and if we don't like what we see, we're not going to applaud it. So some things definitely need to change. Yes, I wish there was more energy inside Stamford Bridge, but it's just something we're going to have to deal with for right now until performances start getting better. I just don't really completely agree with Enzo Maresca in that press conference he had after the game. Well, everybody, thank you for joining in. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, do whatever you want on this video. And please have a great day, everybody.